Right now, Amy Reyes is inside the hospital spending her last few minutes with her son.
I'm never going to see a smile again. I'm never going to hear "I love you, Mommy." I'm never going to get to hold him again. I mean, why would somebody do this to a little bitty baby?
Amy Reyes can't bear the thought of what happened to her son inside her Castle Ridge apartment.
My baby's eyes are in the back of his head, and he's gasping for air. He's unconscious. The hospital said that for him to have fallen and hit his head, he would have had to have fallen out of a 10-story window. That's how bad. He fractured the back of his neck and the back of his skull.
Amy's other two children watched in horror, helpless, as her 5-year-old brother Robert was thrown into a TV stand, slammed to the ground, his head smashed against a bathtub over and over again.
My other two babies, my 6-year-old and my 3-year-old, were there. They seen their brother murdered. They seen it all. What kind of monster does that?
Police say Reyes' live-in boyfriend, Tyrell Cook, is the monster. He did admit to the severe abuse, but didn't tell them why. Reyes says her son had a developmental disorder, bipolar, and ADHD, but she can't imagine what led Cook to do what he did.
I pray that whenever he goes to jail, he gets the fullest extent of justice, because that's just not right. There is something sick in his head for him to be able to hurt a little bitty baby like this.
Amy was out running errands when the beating happened. She says that she and Tyrell had been dating for 6 months, and he never gave her a reason not to trust him around her kids. Now, Temple Baptist Church will be helping Amy and her family with funeral arrangements, and they will be saying their final goodbye to little Robert on Sunday.
Lorena Estrada gives us an inside look.
Neighbors call this Morgan County home filthy and disgusting. The front porch covered in all kinds of trash, attracting all kinds of creatures. But that's nothing compared to what officers found inside. A filthy bathroom, no running water, an empty refrigerator. This is what two young brothers call home.
It's worse than child abuse, you know.
Morgan County Sheriff Glenn Freitag says the conditions are some of the worst his deputies have ever seen.
Just a really nasty home. These officers go in and you gotta have a pretty strong stomach to go in and smell the smells. It's just a real bad situation for the children.
Their parents, Kimberly Christian and Robert Anderson, now behind bars for child abuse and neglect. Christian was wanted for theft. That's why deputies went to the home to serve a warrant. And the sheriff says that's what saved the kids from going another day without a bath or spending another night in filth.
You have a better feeling that, you know, that they'll have a better night's rest and, you know, be clean and enjoy a few of the, you know, being a child.
Now, with no running water, you wonder how these children showered or if they even did. Well, I talked to a neighbor who says Christian would take the boys to her home to bathe them once a week. The brothers are now in state custody. Their parents remain in jail. And Alan, some neighbors say that's where they deserve to be. Many of them seem very concerned about the boys.
Lorena Estrada talked exclusively with the driver.
If they had got away with it, what would they have done with the bus? What was they playing for? And that's what I want to know from the person that did it.
Sandy Price now left with more questions than answers. She's the driver of Bus 117 that made it back to Knoxville Wednesday afternoon. After missing for hours, police found it in Anderson County.
It used to be from right here, I leave my driveway.
Price tells me she left it parked right outside her Prosser Road home Tuesday night, but it was gone the next morning.
No, I didn't leave the key. I got the key on my key ring. And I said if they got it, they had to hotwire it or something. It just kind of hurt me that somebody would come in my yard and steal my stuff. You know, that's my living. If that bus ain't there, I don't make no money.
Her biggest concern, though, the students.
Not knowing what you know, if I'm gonna work tomorrow, if I'm gonna work this evening to get those little kids home. You know, because you grow with them. I've been doing this for here 2 years, and most of the kids around my bus knows me. They know Miss Price.
While police searched for Bus 117, Price borrowed a bus from another contractor and drove her route, getting kids to school on time. Now that the bus has been found, she hopes police find the crook. I'm
just praying that they find the person, whoever was in that seat other than me, and they prosecute them. Whatever they had in their mind to do, they didn't accomplish it. If it had been a copycat that wanted to harm kids, they didn't accomplish it. That's what I was glad.
Lorena Estrada spoke to a friend of 2 of the victims. Lorena?
Family and friends began to show up here when they heard about what happened. One of them told me 2 of the victims were twin sisters.
Okay.
It was a heartbreaking moment for this mother, both her daughters killed. Friends say they were Christina Moore and Bridget White, 39-year-old twins.
I know it's got to be hard for the families. I don't know what I would do if it was me.
Deputies found the twins and another woman shot to death inside this apartment. A short time later, the suspect in custody.
Never no problems or anything like that, and it's just, you know, it's kind of mind-boggling to think that something like this can happen right in your front door.
Investigators spent the day talking to neighbors, trying to figure out what exactly happened and how this car is connected to the crime.
I don't know if it was the woman's car. I know there was a blue car that was there, but I don't know if that was her car. I just know I'd seen a blue car there.
As for the victims,
they're new tenants. I really can't say that I knew them. I wouldn't even probably be able to pick them out of a crowd.
I'm just concerned about, you know, what happened, how come, and why, and you know, of course, my sympathies go out to the families.
A very sad situation here, and investigators also say that it was domestic related.